Good evening, the great people of Biafra. Good evening, the great people of Africa. Good afternoon and good morning to some of you, depending on your place of domicile. My apologies for arriving so late. My biggest apologies for arriving to this meeting so late. I was in another meeting actually, but that's supposed to be my problem, not yours. My apologies once again. It is another new day, it is another new week, it is another new challenge that you are facing, that we are facing. It is another new headlines. It is indeed another new headlines because whenever we look at people whom we call our people, we look up to the people we are looking up to. Whenever we see their decisions, you will always find out that their decision has will always involve a selfish element into it. First of all, I want to touch on what is happening in Plateau State in the northern Nigeria. I want to touch on what is happening in Plateau State in the northern Nigeria because the reason why I want to start from northern Nigeria, I want to see people to join us in real life before we'll be able to proceed with this message with no fear, with no favor. We must deliver the message to you. It is very important that the people of the north stand up to defend themselves because the people of the north, the Hausas, the reason why I am always calling on the people of the north, they have good people called the Hausa people, the true Pharaoh, rather. They have some good people called the Hausa people. That's the reason why I am actually calling on them to build a resistance against this colonization of Nigeria because it is starting from you and it is affecting you mostly. That's the reason why I am actually concerned about the people in the north because most of you are quite ignorant and selfish. And that's the reason why I don't talk about you guys a lot. But the reason why I will talk about you tonight, the reason why I will give you a plan to put in place if you are not ignorant, if you are not selfish, pay attention and make sure you share this video. Share this video to get to the next person until it gets to the right hearing. Because what we are doing here, it is, I am only a messenger. I am only a mouthpiece. The only duty that I have to fulfill is to decolonize our people. The only deal we have to fulfill is to decolonize our people, to get up and fight for your right, to stand up and face reality. We have been put in darkness all our lives. We have been through darkness. We have been blindfolded here in Africa. We have been blindfolded that we cannot be able to differentiate wrong from right. We are not able to differentiate what is our right and what is our wrong. You can never make a decision that it will be suiting to your people because you are simply colonized. The reason why so many of you are selling each other, the reason why so many of you are only thinking about themselves, their family, they don't think about every other person, is simply because you are colonized. Your brain, your brain is no longer working like a brain of supernatural human being, which God created you to be. Your brain is functioning with the control of science. When they came, the most important thing they did is to make you forget your identity. The second thing they did is to destroy you psychologically. The third thing, the third thing they did is to make sure that you give yourself a self hate. You must hate yourself for them to be able to get into you and tell you, we can fix you. How will your enemy fix you? And how can you hate yourself and you expect to do something that will benefit yourself? Because what you are going through is self hate. If you never hate yourself, this same thing applies to all the ethnic group in Nigeria, all the places in Africa. If they never taught you how to hate yourself because you believe you love yourself a lot right now, you never loved yourself. If you love yourself, you are a governor. If you love yourself, you are a governor in a community where you were raised, in a community where you grew up, in a place where everybody look up to you. And when you are facing security challenges, instead of calling the security challenges what it is, you begin to romance it. You begin to romance the truth instead of speaking the truth as it is. Because no matter what you do, no matter how far it takes, truth must be prevailed. Before I forget, please, I call on all the Biafran leaders from the HOD or HOS to all the Biafran leaders. Let us not take our mind away from what we are fighting for. Let us not take our mind away from what we are fighting for. Because the most important thing you are fighting for is the freedom and actualization of Biafra. The most important thing you are fighting for is the freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The most important thing you are fighting for is the unity of the people of Biafra. Because the unity of people of Biafra is a positive energy, is the strength to face whatever you have to face in the hands of the Fulani Caliphate called Nigeria. If you are not united, if you are not united, by the time you keep blaming one another, by the time you keep picking on each other, by the time you will realize it, your land has been taken away. Those people on the ground are looking up to you to give them information, to give them guidelines as per the way they should go. The only thing you are doing is blaming yourselves. The deed has been done. Whatever happened already happened. It's like what you guys are doing right now is like there is a person who hit or pushed your child and your child fell. Instead of you going to pick up your child first to make sure your child is all right, you start chasing after the person who pushed your child to fall. It is not wise. It is not wise. Make sure your child is all right first. Make sure your child is all right first. Then you start looking for the person who pushed your child. We know that there are people who sabotage this struggle. There are people who are sabotaging the struggle. There are people who are the sellout in this struggle. But we need to remember as well that there are a military army of conquest in Biafra land. We need to still remember as well that there are Fulani army of conquest in Biafra land. Those are not the Nigerian army. They are only wearing Nigerian army uniform. Those are the same people who were forgiving Boko Haram. Those are the same people who were busy displacing people from their home. Those are the same people whom were the terrorists integrated into military, Nigerian military. Those are the same people. And those are the same army of conquest in Biafra land, mostly in Imo State, because if you don't calm yourself, bring yourself together, if you do not update the people on the ground, if you are not doing that, it is not going to help the struggle. In as much as you are updating the leadership, you should be updating the people on the ground, because the people on the ground depend on your information, because they are not dependent on their leadership anymore. They are not dependent on the governmental leadership anymore. They are dependent on IPOB and ESN. They believe in you guys. So if you begin to start chasing after what pushed your child, leaving your child, knowing that something, a car or something else might hurt your child while you are chasing after the person who pushed your child. Do you know that it is very important? It is very important for you to understand that the Fulani army of conquest is in the land, and they are in Imo State. Imo State is a targeted area. If they conquer Imo State, they have conquered the southeast. If they conquer Imo State, they have conquered the so-called South-South, because Imo State is their center. If they take over Imo State, you have no idea. There are still undiscovered resources in Imo State. Imo State is supposed to be the heart of the southeast, the heart of the south. That is the reason why they placed someone that will be loyal to them to the core. And the only thing you need to do to help the people on the ground not to fall a victim of this government is to keep updating them, is to keep giving them guidelines. When you keep updating them, when you keep giving them guidelines, I believe that they will feel more safe than what they are now. They will feel more safe. They don't need to be seeing all these This person sold out, that person sold out, this person on the media. Update them on the security challenges that they are facing. Whatever you need to sort out in your leadership, you're compromised, you're sellout, do it on the floor. Bring us the result. That's all we need from you. Do it behind the closed doors. Bring the result to us. That's what makes you a leader. The decision you make will give us what to deliberate on. If I am your follower, if you make a decision, I will have something to deliberate on. I will have something to spend my time on. But if you are not able to make a decision, the only thing you will be doing, your people will be dying without getting a guideline. Your people will be dying because they are not well informed. Solve your problem. There is time, there is place for everything. You guys amongst you, you know the compromised people, you know the culprit, you know the criminals amongst you. And those criminals, by the time they will pay for their crime, they will pay for their crime in the open. Sort these things out amongst yourselves. Bring the people on the ground with the decision you have made. That is the leadership. Otherwise, it means that there is no leadership in Biafra land, in IPOB right now. If we keep hearing this person did this, that person did that, sort each other out, come to the media, give the people on the ground your decision. It will help the struggle better. And that is a digression. If you have ears, hear. If you do not have ears, let it go down the drain, because it is better I say it and be free instead of keeping it and my conscience is going to judge me. So, back to what I am saying. If you are looking at what is happening, if you are paying attention to what is happening in Plateau State, if you are paying attention to what their governor is saying, you will understand that these leaders, regardless of if they are Fulani leaders, okay, let's exclude Fulanis. These leaders, regardless of whether they are Oduduwa leaders, regardless of whether they are Biafran leaders, regardless of whether they are Hausa leaders, the only thing you hear them saying is to finding a way, to assuage. The reason why I will call it assuage is to finding a way to make a situation that is very tense, to present it to the world that this situation is under control, just to save their political ambition. And the reason why I am saying this is because they always fight to save their political ambition, because 2023 is around the corner. That's the reason why you will not find these governors from the north speaking against the evil that is being played in the open in the north. People running away from their homes, people being displaced from their homes, people are killed every day. These things are happening every day. New things are happening is happening in the north. People are finding refuges in the bushes. What is it that you guys, the governors, are not showing the world? When you come, you will say it is just out of criminality. It is act of criminality. How do you call it just act of criminality with this ugly set of ugly hearted individuals who does not understand human being because they are not human themselves anymore, with sophisticated weapons killing your people, this this displacing people out of their homes, and you are telling us it is just a security act of criminality. You must call it what it is. This is terrorism. This is terrorists. The terrorists trying to take over your land. The terrorists trying to take over Nigeria. They are in Imo State in uniform. They are in Plateau State in their terrorist attire. They are in Jaws in their terrorist attire. They are in many places in their terrorist attire. Only in the southeast, they are there in their military attire given to them by the Nigerian government, which is known to be Nigerian terrorist organization. Those are the same people who are in the southeast. Those are the same people whom the ESN are facing every day. Those are the same people. There is no different from these people displacing these people from their home, chasing people, killing people, burning your properties, making people run helter skelter, bringing a lot of wrecking, a lot of havoc in Nigeria. And yet you are calling it just act of criminality. Do you even know when to declare a state of emergency in a country? What is happening in the north? What is happening in the north is supposed to be the state is supposed to be placed under state of emergency. What is happening in the north? But the governors, because they want their political ambition not to be ruined, they want their selfish desire not to be ruined. Just like the people in the likes of Hope Uzodinma, they want their political ambition not to be ruined. The only thing they want is their selfish ambition. That's why the government from Plateau State will come to tell you that this is just act of criminality instead of calling it the terrorism which the military is it the naval commando who told you exactly what this is, and you are still in denial of it. Do you know the reason why you are still in denial of it? Because you don't pay attention. You are colonized. You hate yourself. There is no place you will ever find peace in this world. There is no place you will ever call home in this world than the place where your people are, than the place where your people are coming from. That is whom you are. If you lose your inheritance, if you lose your heritage, if you lose whom you are, in a simple term, you have lost everything. Because whom you are is the trophy that you're supposed to achieve. The first thing they did when they came to Africa, they tried to take away your identity. That's why they give you many baptism name. They call it baptism name. When you they claim that when you accept your Christ as your personal Lord and Savior, they give you a baptism name, which means they are canceling your name because your name is pagan name, according to how they will make it to look like. They will tell you that name that you are bearing is not supposed to be a name that you're supposed to answer. Rather, instead of answering Ikechukwu, if instead of answering Okonkwo, your ancestral name, you will go and answer Benedict. You will go and answer Edwin. You will go and answer different name that has different meaning in their own culture. Just because they gave you a name, they own you. You belong to them. You are their property. When you buy a dog, you give it a name. That's why they say they place it, and your religious leaders are championing it. Today, your baptism name is going to call Edwin. Your baptism name is going to call this, that. Instead of allowing you to answer the name that God Almighty gave to you. When they took away your identity, that's why they are able to manipulate you. The people I am actually talking to, because the people it affected the most are those people who believe they have went to negotiate our independence. They went to negotiate our freedom. Those people were more manipulated. Those people were more colonized. That's why they are the same people leading you in your leadership from generation to generation. You are going to find these same people into your leadership because you have not corrected your mistake while you are alive. When you die, you come again, you are going to meet the same problem which you refuse to correct. That is called a generational curse. What do you think? That God, you will you will sin against God, and God will leave you and go and punish someone else who is not you until the fourth generation. It is you. When you die, you come back, you are going to face your crime. You die, when you die again, you come back. That thing you refuse to correct right now, it is waiting for you in future, because what you are, that's why they say that when you save well in rainy season, in dry season you will be comfortable. When you plan well in rainy season, during the dry season, during the drought season, you will be comfortable more than others. If you fight your battle now, when you come back again, you will leave that achievement that you have laid, because that is you coming back to reap the fruit that you have sown. That is you. You will always come back to face your crime. If you build an empire, if you build an empire using people's freedom to build an empire, when you die, you are going to be displaced from that empire. You are going to be placed in the position of that common man that you have used, because that is what happens sometimes. When you see, the reason why the good people are dying so quick is because God wants to move them away from the suffering of these wicked people, from the suffering of these wicked people, to place him in a place where he will meet his fellow people who will be able to be good to him. Death is not the end of it. Death is the God moving you from where you are, taking you to another place. Death sometimes is called, you it's like a final exams. which if you pass the final exams, you go to the higher level. That's how it is. If you don't pass it, you go to the lower ranking, even though you are in higher level. Whenever your final exam comes, you will be demoted. That is how life is. But for those of you who knows what to tell to your people, and you are not saying it, and you are not saying it because you are scared or because you believe that it is all about I have children, who will look after my children, who will see to my family need. If I die now, who will be do this, who will do that? The same thing you are running away from is the same thing that is going to face those children that you are claiming that you love so much, because you knew what you will do. Even if you are not there, they are there to represent you, because it will be you in them. You are running away from it. Are you actually worried about your children, or are you actually worried about your selfish life? That's why the Bible say those who lose their life will gain, will receive it, but those who secure their life will lose it. When you are living in your ignorance, in your comfort zone, I don't want to speak so that I will not lose my 2023. I don't want to speak so that I will not be stop being going to presidency 2023. I don't want to speak so that they will stop giving me a contract. Then I will start boasting for my people. This is your problem. At the whenever you are doing such things, time will come when you will be in the position where those people you're supposed to speak to liberate are. Your children will be in that situation. That's how it is. What goes around comes around. So the governor of Plateau State is calling the killings, the mass killing, the disposition of people, displacement of people from their homes. He is calling it act of criminality. He is calling it act of criminality. What type of a criminal will come drive you away from your homes? What type of a criminal will come and kill people with sophisticated weapons without the government knows these people? Government knows how to face these people, but government is not doing anything about it. Government is also only there telling you that you must ha- you must save, bring your land and give to Fulanese for their private businesses, for open grazing. In this 21st century, you are talking about open grazing. Who does that? Who did that to you? And yet the people in the southeast, what they are doing, Ohaneze, instead of saying things the way it is, Igbo will welcome law-abiding Fulani headsmen. Ohaneze, this is a Vanguard News. This is a Vanguard News. You will welcome the law-abiding Fulani headsmen. I don't have a problem with that, because there will always be a law-abiding Fulani headsman. But the problem I have for you, Ohanes and Igbo, because if you say you are going to welcome the law-abiding Fulani headsman in this present generation, or in this present situation that you are facing right now, when your people in the north are not finding a way to come back home, your people in the north are being trapped, some of them are getting missing in the bush, and yet you are telling me that you will welcome a law abiding Fulani headsman. Why don't you tell these people that you want the actualization of Biafra. When you achieve Biafra, you build your border and you control the type of Fulanese who enters into your country. That's how it is. Since you know that there is a lot of the ones terrorists are amongst these Fulani headsmen, why don't you tell them to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? You will welcome the law-abiding Fulani headsmen. Fulani headsmen. Do you know Fulani headsmen? You are going to welcome the law-abiding Fulani headsmen, but you are hypocritically saying you don't want open grazing. If you don't want open grazing in Southeast, why are you welcoming Fulani headsmen? What else are the Fulani headsmen known for? Sometimes you need to just come clean, call things what it is, call a spade a spade. Forget about this 2023 sham that you guys are believing in. You are going for presidency 2023, but all of you are going to be surprised come 2023 what is going to happen, because they know, Fulani only know that if they lose this power right now, this power that Obama of America helped them to achieve, that they will never gain that power again. So that's exactly the reason why they are fighting. That's the reason why they are doing all they can. Let's listen to this man. Let's listen to this video. Then you will understand what exactly is going on. Even in Jaws, one of the senator, this terrorist killed the key children to one of the senator in Jaws. But no one is going to talk about it a lot.
Authorities in Plateau State make efforts to tackle the current insecurity and killings. An alarm that terrorists are set to launch attacks on two local government areas of Langtang North and South has been sounded by the chairman of Langtang North local government, Laven Ubandoma. The Plateau State Police Command, however, says it is on top of the situation.
Plateau State is dealing with resurgence of killings, burnings, and displacement occasioned by arms attacks.
Plateau State says it is on the Plateau State security said it is on top of that situation. It is on top of that situation, but yet people are being displaced from their homes. People are running away for their lives. People are being killed with sophisticated weapons that you only find with terrorists or government. People are being using that weapon, AK-47, AK-49, different types of armors, different types of explosive, and they are calling it, they are on top of the situation. Where is your military? Where is your military? When I tell you, when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu tell you that Nigeria does not have army, they cannot do that. You know the reason why they are doing this? Because the person in charge of Nigeria have the agenda of colonization in the back of his mind. But these people in the north, you are not understanding it. You are not paying attention. You are still believing. Come clean. Come clean. You believe that you don't want to accept it just because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said it. That's what's the ego of some of you that is making some of you being displaced from your homes, because you have too much ego. Come clean. Everybody makes mistakes. But are you going to continue in your mistake until you've been swallowed? Build a resistant. form a resistance and make sure you face your enemy head on. People in the south, it looks like nothing is touching you guys. People in the south, you need to pay attention. You need to pay attention. Even if they are negotiating with you to bring more allocations to South, no matter what they are promising you, do you know when they achieve colonization of Nigeria? When they achieve it, you are going to be displaced out of your homes. Just like these people, you are not going to be anything better than these people. You will not. For now, the only thing you are more interested in is oil money. Oil money. You must allocation increase. This allocation increase, that side of South, you will see a timid, remote area in Nigeria. A timid, remote area in Nigeria. And yet you are clamoring for one Nigeria. What have you achieved ever since you've been one Nigeria? Okay, let's say that you guys have people who form a resistance during that time. What was their faith? Do you need to cry to achieve what belongs to you? Do you need to form a resistance to achieve what belongs to you? That is to show you that you don't matter to them. The only thing that matters to them is those things that is under your feet, that is those resources under your soil. That is one thing that matters to them. And that's the reason why they will do everything to drive you away from that land, to make sure they come in as a open grazing and they will conquer you. If they come in as open grazing, they will circle you and they will exterminate you one after the other. You see what is happening in the north? They were not aware. They were ignorant when Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was telling them. They are circled. They are being surrounded, rather. That's the same thing they want to do. That's why they are making sure they will achieve Imo State. When they achieve Imo State, they are going to be trooping through the bushes there. They are going to be trooping everywhere into the south if you allow it to happen. And they will surround you. Before you know it, you are going to be crying, running, just like the people in the north, in Plateau State and in Jos. Let's continue to listen to the news from Plateau State.
Attacks by marauders, allegedly herdsmen, and retaliation by natives. The council chairman of Lantan North, Lavan Ubandoma, told journalists in Jos that from information available to him, a pending massacre is imminent on the people of villages in two local government areas of Lantan North and South, both located in Southern Senatorial District of the state.
Our people are not having it easy. We're having sleepless night. Now we are calling on the security agency to please step up their game and come to the rescue of the people. We are armless civilians. We've submitted our weapons. We are calling on the military to join hands with us, with our own nation, to help chase those terrorists, because I cannot call them bandits, I cannot call them haters, but all I know, they are terrorists.
The council chairman further stated that security agents have also confirmed the report.
The security agents in the north call them what they are. They are terrorists. The one thing that the governor of Plateau State refused to call them. The security agent called them terrorists. The only thing that they need to know is that the government is not coming for your aid. The government is not coming for your aid. These people, they have been in your soil for a very long time. They have been there for a very long time. gathering, surrounding you. Now it is time to show you that they've been there. There is nothing you can do. Security, Nigerian government is not going to come for your aid. All you need to do is to build resistance and try to take back the ones you can. That's all you need to do, because you did not pay attention when this gospel was being preached. Let's continue.
While calling for protection of communities who, according to him, cannot defend themselves.
I tried to get in touch with the police commissioner, which I did. I called him and he confirmed to me that yes, he has been reported as well. They've told him what is going on.
The alarm was confirmed by the spokesman of the Plateau State Police Command, ASP Gabriel Luba, who told AIT on phone that Commissioner of Police Edward Ebuka had ordered the deployment of police officers to the areas, while a military outfit set up to ensure peace in Plateau State Operation Safe Haven is yet to make any official comment on the issue. The situation, however, leaves much to be desired, with fear and clouds of uncertainty.
Are you watching? Are you watching? How many military men did you see there? Military outfit. Let me play it again. They started seeing military outfit, but
Comment
this
on
is
the issue.
happening.
The situation, however, leaves much to be desired, with fear and clouds of uncertainty. The alarm was confirmed by the spokesman of the Plateau State Police Command, ASP Gabriel Luba, who told AIT on phone that Commissioner of Police Edward Ebuka had ordered the deployment of police officers to the areas, while a military outfit set up to ensure peace in Plateau State Operation Safe Haven is yet to make any official comment on the issue.
Whether they are called Operation Self Heaven, whether they are called Operation Self Hell, all these people, they will be exterminated, because one thing you must understand, that this government, they keep deceiving you. They keep telling you that you don't know nothing. Let me show you something so that you will understand that this is not how a government function. This is not how a government should operate, because government, you gave them the power. You gave them the power. This is not their power. They never place themselves there. Even if they rig the election, they never place themselves there. It is you who placed them there. And at the end of the day, instead of them doing something that will help you, they are busy doing something that will kill you. They are busy making decisions that will put your life in danger. That's what they always do, because they will never do something better. They make sure they put your life in danger. They make sure that they are not going to hear your cry when you are crying it. They make sure that you are almost dead before they will come to answer, to camouflage as if they are doing something. Let me show you. When you talk about leaders, you talk about the leaders who care for their people, the leaders who understand that the power belongs to the people, the most powerful leaders of the world. But just Buhari, COVID-19 came. COVID-19
Let me take the one question from the most interesting.
Many people, as many as possible. COVID-19 killed. Your president could not come to the media to be addressing people the way other presidents of the world are doing. It was only Nigerian president that is not following up, addressing people, telling them, educating them on what to do. But the palliative that was given to the nation, they were confiscated by the leaders, political elite who are very rich, but they stole the rights that the United Nations, maybe, or the charity organizations donated to the hungry people on the ground. They hid it away to show you how much they have hated you, to show you how much You are not even in existence. They are seeing themselves only. When they look out there, they're only seeing themselves and their family. That's the reason why they did what they did, and they hid away the palliative that you are supposed to be receiving. And these same people, you are looking up to them. When they say one Nigeria, you say one Nigeria. When they say 2023, you go and buy your voter's card. When they call for Anambra election, so many of you who will go and collect 1,500 naira just to go and act as if you came to vote, you are going to be shot like animal. When you go there, the same people are going to present their police to kill you. Keep selling your people. Let's listen to the people who are the leaders, people who care about people whom they are leading. Not these people that you find in Africa, you find around. In fact, I think the one in Nigeria is the worst. Is the worst because actually they are giant of Africa. That's exactly the reason why they created it and call it giant of Africa. They must be worse in every corruption. They must be worse in every evil thing that is being done. You don't have a leader. After watching this video, you tell me if you have a leader or not. When they come to when they come to media, they will talk big. They will write big. You will think that they know what they are saying. They don't know anything they are saying. They are just reading a script for you. After reading the script, they do not even know what they have read. The only thing they keep doing is they only think about themselves and their friends. That's it. If you keep depending on these people, in your next generation, you are going to still remain hungry. Listen to the president, listen to the leaders of the world. I am not a big fan of him, actually. I am not a big fan of him, but that's when you will see the humility of a leader, how it's supposed to be. Let's pay attention.
Guy that I know in the press. That's you.
Mr. President, there had not been a U.S. service member killed in combat in Afghanistan since February of 2020. You set a deadline, you pulled troops out, you sent troops back in, and now 12 Marines are dead. You said the buck stops with you. Do you bear any responsibility for the way that things have unfolded in the last 2 weeks?
I bear responsibility for fundamentally all that's happened of late. But here's the deal. You know, I wish you'd one day say these things. You know, as I do, that the former president made a deal with the Taliban that he would get all American forces out of Afghanistan by May 1. In return, the commitment was made, and that was a year before. In return, he was given a commitment that the Taliban would continue to attack others, but would not attack any American forces. Remember that? I'm being serious. No, I'm asking you a question. Because before... No, wait a minute. I'm asking you a question. Is that accurate, the best of your knowledge? What?
I don't think it's the issue that... do you think that people have an issue with pulling out of Afghanistan or just the way that things have happened?
I think they have an issue that people are likely to get hurt. Some, as we've seen, have gotten killed, and that it is messy. The reason why, whether my friend will acknowledge it or has reported it, the reason why there were no attacks on Americans, as you said, from the date until I came into office, was because the commitment was made by President Trump, I will be out by May 1st. In the meantime, you agree not to attack any Americans. That was the deal. That's why no American was attacked.
few days ago, you said you squarely stand by your decision to pull out.
Yes, I do, because look at it this way, folks. And I have another meeting for real. But imagine where we'd be if I had indicated on May the 1st, I was not going to renegotiate a evacuation date. We were going to stay there. I'd have only one alternative: pour thousands of more troops back into Afghanistan to fight a war that we had already won relative to why the reason we went in the first place. I have never been of the view that we should be sacrificing American lives to try to establish a democratic government in Afghanistan, a country that has never once in its entire history been a united country and is made up, I don't mean this in a derogatory, made up of different tribes who have never, ever, ever gotten along with one another.
Thank you. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Actually, in as much as I am showing you that this is a leader people are looking up to, you see the reason why calmly he answered the question being thrown at him by whom? By a journalist. This is a president. This is a president. But let's listen to a version that comes from Nigeria. We're going to go back.
A former minister of
We're
aviation,
going
has
to
been
go
strongly
back
criticized for insulting a journalist publicly in
to
Calabar, Cross River State, during a press
the
conference.
American path.
The journalist was said to have asked the former minister a question about who bankrolled his recent tour to some southern states, and that angered him, making him call the journalist stupid.
I'm on live TV. What? No, put that thing now. Let me address. What type of stupid question is that? What type of stupid question is that? Bankrolling who? Do you know who you are talking to? I will not take any questions from this man. What an insulting question is that? Which bankroll? To do what? Who can give me money for anything? Who do you think you are talking to? Bankroll what? Go and report yourself to your publisher. Bankroll what? Please don't.
So, as we are saying, you will find it that it is quite
ever gone
obvious
to
when you compare
even
people,
though the Taliban completely controlled Afghanistan
when
at
you
the time.
compare your leaders,
Would we have ever gone?
with other leaders in the world. I just wanted a little thing for you. But that was not even a president. So this is the president of the most powerful nation in the world. The president of America. Did you see how you questioned at him? Did you see how he answered? When the situation was getting tense, he humbled himself, he kept calm, and he continued answering the question. But where I want you to also pay attention is what he said that is happening in Afghanistan. They don't want to waste their American lives going to be in Afghanistan. Pay attention and listen to it yourself. Maybe you will make more sense from it more than me.
And is made up, I don't mean this in a derogatory, made up of different tribes who have never, ever established a government in Afghanistan, a country that has never once in its entire history been a united country, and is made up, I don't mean this in a derogatory, made up of different tribes who have never, ever, ever gotten along with one another.
This is the same thing happening in Nigeria. Did you hear that? Made up of different people who have never gotten along with one another. This is exactly what is going on in where you are in Nigeria right now. bring these people together, that they will never get, they know that they have never gotten along with one another in centuries. That's why they brought you together, to create that contraption. The reason why they brought you together, that you will never get as long as you can never get along with one another, as long as you will never understand yourself, there will be no peace there, so that you will keep being exploited by the first world country, and you are buying it. Do you know that it is better for that contraption to be divided? Go back, answer what God call you. If God call you Israelite, answer Biafra. If God call you Biafra, answer Biafra. If God call you Odudua, answer Odudua. If God call you Arewa, answer that. That the name of God, the name of Allah may be praised. That's how it is. But take back your identity first, then decide what you do next. Accept whom you are first, and decide what you are going to do next. Because in as much as you are not accepting, or you are not making peace with the truth of whom you are, you will never have a safe country. You will never have a good leadership, because whom you are will tell you if these people you've been living with, are they your allergy, or are they your friends. That's exactly how it's supposed to be. When you discover whom you are, you go back to the history. You ask yourselves, these people that have been calling my country people, am I even supposed to have any relationship with them? Are they an enemy to our ancestors? Are they the people who sold our ancestors to whom what they are suffering from? You never know. That's the reason why you need to discover your identity first. That's the reason why you need to refrain from the contraption and call yourself what God called you. Call yourself whatever identity God gave to you, and cease from this baptism that was given, you were manipulated into, and giving you a baptism name of Nigeria, nigger area. Whenever you decease from that name, contraption, whenever you decease from that name, you will start seeing better things. That's the reason why when people wake up, they want to go back to their identity. Whenever people wake up, do you know that the peace in Nigeria, there will never be a peace in Nigeria. That's exactly what this man was telling you. The same thing happening in Afghanistan, because they have understood now that their madness has gotten into the marketplace. That's the reason why all of them are taking out their hands off them, and they will now sanction them, because they are waiting to come around and sanction them. If you hear British Boris Johnson, what he said, for them to form alliance, for them to make, for them to be able to, because for you to be a country, you must interact with other countries. You must have coalition with other countries. That's, you must form an allies. That's where they will wait for them. Since their madness have taken over, that they do not respect anybody anymore. They don't want to fear. They are not afraid of dying. They will be left alone. And that's the reason why they will now bring the superpower. They will call the shot like a superpower by sanctioning Afghanistan, maybe, that no one will trade, no one will do any ally with them. So, and even though they knew that these people are people who will never understand each other, who never love themselves, they brought them together. The same thing British did. All the their modus of operandis are similar to one another. That's the same thing they are doing in Biafra land. When you are going to start killing, like the way you are killing yourselves now, do you kill yourselves too much when you begin to start taking maybe you go to a British embassy, you burn it, you go to this embassy, you do this and that. That's the reason. That's when they will discover, no, we don't need to be on the ground anymore. We need to go further. And now we are going to use principalities and power to cage them inside there where they are, to make sure we cage them since they have woken up, since they have realized whom they are. Now we are going to cage them with sanction. Because exactly what is going on, the only thing that will save you from this contraption is to answer your name again. Go back to your root. Go back to your root. Secure your land, because they will bring invaders. They will bring invaders like they did in Afghanistan. They brought the invaders. They took over the land and say, we don't even want any terms and conditions with you anymore. The same thing that will happen to British if Fulani eventually take over Nigeria. They will tell you, screw you, British. Because you have no idea that you are dealing with animals. The reason why they are still answering you, the reason why they are still paying attention to you, British, is just because they know that they have people whom they are so afraid of still inside the nation. If they are able to conquer fully Nigeria, then you will see they become like Talibans. Because it is projected, because God has made everything the way it should be. No matter how you fight, no matter how you plan, you will never supersede. Your plans will never supersede the plans and the agenda of Almighty God, which He put in place. That this world has been projected by God, and those people who call themselves the people, the hierarchy, who create principalities and power, whom tells you to die when you are not supposed to die, those people whom tell you to stay together when you are not supposed to stay together, God has placed His principle. You will find them making the same mistake all over and all over and all over again. That's the same thing that they are doing, because they only know one type of approach. It's either they use your people to kill you, or they go and train an army outside your people to come in as a terrorist. That's how it is. And when they come in, they kill you, they take over your land, and they bring them their own return. That's a business. That's how this world is run. But God made everything that has beginning must have end. But they don't want to accept that the end is near. I will post the link here in case if you want to come in and air your view. Go to the comment section. You will see the link to come in. You will see the link to come in. You can ask your question on the comment box while we proceed. Make sure you share this video. When you are in, invite other people. Don't let anything take you away from this gospel of knowledge of the truth. Let's continue.
And so, as I said before, this is the last comment I'll make. We'll have more chance to talk about this, unfortunately, beyond, because we're not out yet. If Osama bin Laden, as well as Al Qaeda, had chosen to launch an attack when they left Saudi Arabia out of Yemen, would we have ever gone to Afghanistan? Even though the Taliban completely controlled Afghanistan at the time, would we have ever gone? I know it's not fair to ask you questions, it's rhetorical, but raise your hand if you think we should have gone and given up thousands of lives and tens of thousands of wounded. Our interest in going was to prevent Al Qaeda from reemerging, first to get bin Laden, wipe out Al Qaeda in Afghanistan, prevent that from happening again. As I've said 100 times, terrorism is metastasized around the world. We have greater threats coming out of other countries, a heck of a lot closer to the United States. We don't have military encampments there. We don't keep people there. We have over the horizon capability to keep them from going after us. Ladies and gentlemen, it was time to end a 20-year war. Thank you so much.
Truly breathtaking, that exchange, absolutely the worst moment I have seen in presidential history in my lifetime. I wasn't around for Nixon resigning, and I was barely following politics with Bill Clinton, but this has to be the top of the top. Peter Ducey asking Joe Biden what responsibility he holds for the death of Americans in Afghanistan. Joe Biden crumbling and cracking like a ball of aluminum foil, an absolute catastrophe. You saw him crumple there at the podium. Just devastating stuff. Just the worst imagery I've ever seen of a president, and indeed the most shame I've ever seen brought to the office. You Biden voters, you live in shame.
That's how it is. That's how a president is supposed to handle a nation. Regardless of what that nation is facing, regardless of all his effort, he must be loyal to his nation. Let us continue. In case if you want to come in, if you have a question, I know we don't have a lot of audience tonight, but whoever that is watching, if you have anything to throw back to your government, to your leadership, if you have any complaint, if you have any regret to lay out, you can click on the link and you come in and air your view. Let's see this video. Let me be sure is the right video.
Authorities in Plateau State make efforts to tackle the current insecurity and killings and alarm that
Security agency to please.
Oh, that's the wrong video. Let me check. Let me find this video. Was it this one?
And still staying in Jos, some residents of Akan Sheikh Zangwan in Jos South Local Government area of Plateau State have decried the forceful takeover of their lands. But the government wants a quick intervention and to avoid any possible action that may come as a result of the problem. They made their position known in a peaceful protest to draw government attention to the illegal confiscation of their lands by some top government officials.
For these people, they will not sit back and watch what they labored for just go down the drain because of powers that be. Mary is a widow and all she's got is this piece of land and is about to be taken over if nothing is done to address the issue.
As you can see, they are losing their lands because they never listen. But today, you people in the south, if you still have your ears, make sure you pay attention and secure your land. Make every effort to secure your land. Make every approach. Make every effort to make sure you protect your land from these people, because as they come in, they are on your doorstep. after the army of conquest, when Hope Uzodinma give them the cattle route that they are looking for, the route which they will use to come to devour you, those are the same route that he is going to give them. But I think we are going to be bringing this program to an end. We are going to be bringing this program to an end. We are going to be back as soon as we have something for you, because our job is to make sure that we keep you posted. Our job is to make sure that we keep you updated. Our job is to make sure that you get the message and prepare yourself for the task ahead, not to be taken by surprise. So it is going to be from me and to you. It is good evening.
All she wants is justice. Others who spoke say their demands must be looked into for a quick resolution before it degenerates into what government may
for the law to take its course. Now we've just had it started selling this land here. From Ministry of Urban.
For, as my other brother said, for God purpose. And now it seems it's not for government purpose again.
The people who are sending these people here, they are lawyers. They know that the case is in court with us. Instead of waiting for the law to take its course, now we've just had it, they've started selling this land here. From Ministry of Urban. Yes, by the Ministry of Urban and Fiscal Planning.
Governors should open their eyes. Some cabals are under them using the government to take away people's property. What is happening now, it is so few individuals who want to enrich themselves by using the government to suppress we the poor masses here.
They called on the Plateau government to come to their aid in the interest of peace. Wiki Edako, AIT News, Jos.